Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Midnight Disruption. As always, I am your host, Mr. Midnight. Sometimes I'll be Mr. Vicissitude. Sometimes I'll just be John. And today may be one of those times. But before we get into this, just wanted to do this real fast. It's been a crazy 24 hours with some stuff. So we're going to be working out some kinks in the next couple weeks, getting things a little bit more refined and all. But I didn't want to do what I did a few years ago and say, I don't want to do it because of this or that or any of that other stuff. I just spilled alcohol literally 3 minutes prior to recording. So we're being live here. So, welcome to the show. And basically, just wanted to tell you, let's just get to it. Midnight Disruption is going to be a show that is going to be about basically like fashion and entertainment. It's going to provide as another avenue for you guys to basically talk about fashion, entertainment, and get a little bit more insight into Vicissitude Magazine and Red Midnight Magazine, part of the Vicissitude Media Group that I run. That's basically the gist of it. We're gonna have tons of guests. We got a huge lineup of guests already lined up in the next few weeks. And basically we'll have one-on-one interviews usually, and we'll have sometimes we'll do a roundtable discussion depending on what's going on. I'm not always going to do shows in my home office. I'm going to do stuff on the road. We have different venues set up for that. So different places, travel, meet people of all walks of life when it comes to fashion, any types of entertainment like music producing, artists, adult industry will be a big focus as well on here. Pretty much anything that I like, really. And I love all those things. I love fashion. I love entertainment. I love art of different forms. And I enjoy, and I think I speak for everyone on earth, I enjoy sex. So I'll be talking about those things. But that basically be the format. Usually be one-on-one. Sometimes, we'll do the roundtable discussion here and there. Some of the shows will be pre-recorded. Some of them will be done live, like right now. If they're done live, unless otherwise noted, they're going to come out at 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday nights. That is the same schedule that will be uphold with every show here on out, unless it's a special event or a special show, in which case we'll let you guys know. We're going to be on it. We're on everything. We're not going to be. We are on everything. Spotify, Apple, pretty much Podbean, our host here. We're going to be on all those platforms, any platform that you get podcasts from. We'll also be doing a decent amount of video. Some shows will just be, audio, but for the most part, we're going to try our best to do video as well. Those will be on YouTube. They will be streamed to Facebook and Instagram. We're streaming live now on my Facebook, that you can add me as a friend. I don't bite. And also, we're on the Red Midnight Instagram, giving us a try, see how this goes. We'll go alternate depending on the guest. Like if they're from Vicissitude side of doing a shoot or something, we'll be on the Vicissitude Magazine Instagram. If they're on Red Midnight, obviously Red Midnight Mag. We'll be streaming to the Midnight Disruption YouTube live as well, which we're doing right now. So all those will be in links and descriptions below and all that stuff eventually, and on the website that is still being updated right now, midnightdisruption.com. Once that's updated, you can go on there and just literally follow however you want to follow us and be in the loop for everything. All our advertising options and all that for businesses will be up there as well the next couple days. So with that out of the way, let's just get into the topic. It's pretty simple. Where the hell have I been? I mean, it's as simple as that. Where have I been? So let me give you a little backstory real fast. And periodically, before I forget, amongst the other things like doing live recording shows and interviews and roundtable discussions and a variety of different styles within the show, one of them will be me talking kind of sort of like a self-therapy session. It definitely would be for me, but it also, I feel like I should talk to you guys in this way instead of what I used to do years ago, which is talk on Facebook Live only and didn't look as pretty as this, and just that's the thing. So there will be solo episodes of my therapy sessions. Basically, this will be vicissitudes or Mr. Midnight's therapy session. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to talk about today. Just to give you a precursor of where the hell have I been. And for people that don't know, I haven't done anything in fashion for almost 5 years. And I haven't done anything with Red Midnight for a bit. So let me just give you the cliff notes real fast. I don't want to go too far back and sit there forever doing the whole thing. I want to get to the current situation that's still going on. So obviously, 2019 came, and vicissitude for me was just draining. I was not in a good spot when it came creatively. I was burnt out. That's the best way to put it. I was just burnt out. Excuse me. It's gonna be a little bit rough. So apologies in advance for any sneezings and stuff. Still recovering. But I didn't want to postpone this. So cheers, by the way. There will be alcohol on the show. There will be cigar smoking eventually on the show. There will be a lot of crazy things that happen, hence Midnight Disruption. This will probably be one of the more tame situations. So anywho, I got tired of doing it. Vicissitude is a fashion magazine. So basically was at one point a high-end couture magazine. You're in a box when it comes to that. You're in a serious box. So what ends up happening is you get tired. You get tired real easily when it comes to doing stuff. You just get this fatigue because, for people that were, I've been running vicissitudes since I was 18, and I was putting out 12 issues a year back then, and at the time of 2019, I was putting out 15 issues a year. The quality was starting to go down. The quantity was great, but the quality was starting to go down because I was burnt out. I was burnt out heavily. I'm dealing with so many things and still adjusting to my new life outside of what I dealt with in the past, which we will leave for another show. But yeah, I had to move, had to do all this other stuff. I handled all that. I was just tired. I was burnt out. I needed a break. So I decided, though, I wanted to do something else more creative. The hottest selling issues for Vicissitude became the anti-Valentine's Day issue, the lingerie issue, the annual swimsuit issue, and then there was, of course, the Dark and Wild issue, which was like in October, and that was the latex alternative fashion issue. All of them have one thing in common, and that's that they're super sexy issues. They just are, and they sold. Sex sells. I mean, that's just what it is. For me, I had to take those things out because I was starting to alienate the majority of people, and my main demographic was up north, New York City, the New England, like LA, like that's my area for Vicissitude. So I couldn't be as creative as I wanted to, but I had to do a lot more work because I had to do fashion forecasting, and I had to do all these other things. And there's lots of moving parts that you'll eventually hear when we bring on some industry experts in future shows of what it really takes and what kind of toll it takes on a person when they have to orchestrate this vision that you get to see on TV, or the song you listen to, or if it's like just the billboard, or if it's the magazine like I have. It can be very rewarding, but it can be very stressful. And sometimes that stress level is above the reward. So that was the big thing with that. The other big thing was I was dealing with a situation as well, which I'll get to in a second, but I wanted to explore doing ultra sexy stuff and being in the men's interest category, like your Playboy, your Penthouse, possibly a little Hustler, and see how that goes, because things are different now than they were back then. Where back then you had to jump to a lot of hoops to do anything that involved any type of nudity or anything like that. Now it's a little bit more accessible, as I put it lightly. So here's the thing. I did it. I invented Red Midnight. That magazine is doing really well. Lots of fun to do because I can be creative. It's not just a lot of super hot or naked women in the magazine with no substance or anything. There's articles, there's other things to it. There's sections for speakeasy. There's a great section everyone loves. The erotic stories are fantastic for people that like to read them. We incorporate photos with them. There's a lot of fun stuff that we do with that. One of the best-selling issues was the Lady Scarface issue, which was part of the 80s themed swimsuit issue. And that was a whole parody, a sexy parody, as I like to call it, where basically I have all these ideas of films or whatever that I enjoy, and I want to just take that concept and not only just make it a parody, but a sexy parody, so to speak, where it's like, how sexy can I make this? In the case of Scarface, how sexy can I make Scarface? How sexy can I make that concept? And we executed really well. It is the second best selling issue right now, neck and neck with another issue that I didn't expect to go that fast, or be still being bought this day, I should say. So I did it for a bit. It's good, but then I had another issue, and the issue was my dumbass. This is all me. My dumbass allowed a relationship to dictate what I was supposed to do. I mean, I was dating a very insecure person. Not necessarily all her fault. I mean, at the end of the day, it's her fault because she's a grown ass woman. But when you're getting, mentally abused by your family or your parents, in this case, more specifically her mother, it takes a toll. And lots of things were being said for years, and I just shrugged them off like annoying parent thing, you know. But it came down to, long story short, she fought badly about both magazines. She fought that apparently I don't have any male restraint or male discipline whatsoever. Apparently any woman that would come in front of me that was attractive was going to somehow make me unzip my pants and drop them for her. And I was going to, you know, have sex with that person at that time. Like, amongst other things, like doubting my abilities as a man, not sexually, but just, you know, figuring things out or being the head of the household or whatever. There was also this fear of commitment as well. And that's the gist of it. I mean, I could sit here for hours talking about it, but I'm not going to waste your time with that. So I made the decision of, okay, do you want to be creative, or do you want to live like this forever? Because you don't want to be miserable. You know, everyone knows I don't like the term with happy wife, happy life. I think that's a dumb term. I think it should be happy couple, happy life. So I made the decision to basically say I can't do this anymore. Like, I couldn't do it anymore. And I got tired of fighting and being sad and depressed. And my dumb ass stopped doing the magazine partially because of her. There was other factors like just being burnt out, dealing with trying to buy a house, which is not easy for a person that is, you know, self-employed with business. Anybody self-employed knows, you know, buying a house is a bitch, especially if it's your first one. That was brutal as hell. And another thing that was brutal was the simple fact that I thought this would be a little easier, to be honest with you. I just didn't have support. Like, the people that I worked with up north just kind of fell off the face of the earth, and it's a different lifestyle up north compared to down south. Now, I'm in the middle. I'm in Philly, you know, as people know. But I travel, and the mentality of the north is definitely apples to oranges down south. Up north, you have the cost of income is so high. Cost of living, I should say, is so high that people get consumed by money. There's a reason why they call New York the city that never sleeps, because they gotta work 5 jobs to pay for a $5,000 a month, 30 square foot apartment with a shared bathroom on the same floor as 5 other people. Yeah. That's a pain in the ass. Hey, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's a pain in the ass, and it's not fun at all to deal with. But people that I thought believed in being creative and art, they kind of just fell off. They got consumed by responsibilities that honestly they didn't have to deal with, you know. But they put on themselves. If that makes sense. So I mean, excuse me. In a nutshell, I didn't have the support. I didn't have, you know, didn't have the support, didn't have, you know, what I wanted in terms of creativity. I didn't have anyone to bounce any ideas off of at the time. I didn't have any of that. So it was getting to the point where I was just doing everything by myself. And in order for this to be successful, I can't do everything by myself. I just can't. So in terms of the rest, I mean, when you add in all that and the pandemic, it's very discouraging to do anything. So I decided to give up and see what happens. Maybe if I get rid of this magazine, maybe my at the time girlfriend would be like, yeah, he's doing this for me, he loves me, blah blah blah. Nope, nothing changed. Not a damn thing changed. I wish I could tell you it changed, but the reality is it didn't change. It didn't change at all. And it's my fault. I'm the dumbass. So fast forward to last June. Actually earlier than that, May. Some of you know, I'm a cat dad. It's the only thing I really have is family. My oldest cat, Cindy, passed away Memorial Day. And that was worse than I thought it'd be. Even for her sister, Missy, who's sitting right down here. I'm pretty sure she'll be a guest eventually on the show. And it was very stressful. My girlfriend was just just throwing money at problems. I didn't really want her to. I just had all these emotions. I'm not going to get too deep into those. But it just, something happened when Cindy passed away that made me go, I don't want to do this anymore. So, as much as I didn't want to do this, I didn't want to do that with her, or to her, I can't live like this. You've been with somebody for 7 years plus, and they've never lived with you, and they never gave you the key to the place, they never did anything. I'm a patient man, but Jesus. There's only so much patience. I need to see some sort of progression. And I never felt like, at that time, she had my back. It basically comes down to cold feet. That's what it comes down to. It came down to cold feet. It wasn't because of cheating or anything like that, or any type of infidelities. It was just, I'm ready to do stuff and I want to build with someone, and she didn't. And it was just so upsetting because I stopped everything for her. And I'll tell you right now, I ain't stopping shit for no person ever again, especially a woman. I'm just not. And that's not a knock at women, by the way, okay? Because I know someone's going to say, oh, here we go. No. This is not a knock at women. I'm just saying, and I'm saying this to the fellas too, I am not stopping. And you should not stop your shit for any woman. And women, you shouldn't stop your shit for any man. If what you do is what you do, you should just do it, to be honest. And if they don't accept it, tough shit. I was trying to cater, and I got burned for it a little bit. So I ended up meeting somebody else. And if you watch the Grown Man Click, which shouts out to the Grown Man Click, they're one of the reasons why I decided to go through with this. Same with the Sophisticated Grizzly podcast. Definitely check those fellas out. But I went through with this because I thought for the first time I was going to have somebody that really understood me and was willing to be by my side and be a part of what I do and support what I do and trust me and have confidence in themselves and have great sexual confidence in themselves and all that. Because those are things that were missing from the prior relationship. So enter this woman. I'm not going to bring up any names right now. I mean, you can look at the Grow Man Click and figure out who's who when it comes to that. I just don't bring anything up at the moment with names because I don't feel like it's needed or warranted. But basically, what ended up happening was she approached me. I found out she liked me a lot. I mean, I didn't know much about her except that she was supposed to be a makeup artist outside of the place of work she was at the time, and she was attractive, and she showed sexual confidence and self-confidence in herself. And man, she was amazing. I mean, listen, I'm angry about what happened, which I'll get to in a few minutes. But I don't have any personal ill will towards her or any woman that I've ever been with, except one. There's that one in San Antonio that has a restraining order, okay? But we're not going to talk about that past that. That will eventually come up later. But yeah, I don't have ill will towards people. It felt nice for once in my life to feel wanted. At that time, I haven't felt wanted in 4 or 5 years. And I didn't really realize that. You kind of got complacent. I kind of got complacent and went through the motions and thought this was okay. And what I was dealing with was not okay. And when I brung it up, it was falling on deaf ears. She wasn't being feminine. She wasn't doing the things like that previous relationship. She wasn't doing the things that a woman would normally do. She was being more doubtful and apprehensive and not listening and not really treating me like the man that she claims that she wants to be with for the rest of her life. So enters this other woman, super hot, attractive woman, who very classy, very nice person. Had great surprise. We had a good conversation. I've dated, attractive women before. Obviously, everybody I date is attractive, to be honest. But there was just something about her that made it different, and I think it was just the simple fact that some people have told us that, well, she boosted your ego. I mean, I would hope every man has that. Like, if I'm down and I gotta fight out here in this world, I would like to come home to a woman that's like, hey, I'm here for you, because I know on my end I'll do whatever I can to be there for that woman. And part of it is going out in them streets and getting the money together and bringing it home, and being able to be supportive and provide and be a good provider to my hopefully soon-to-be wife, whoever that may be. We talked about stuff. We talked about goals. We talked about life. We had a plan in place. I also had the expectation conversation. She wanted to be in a power couple. But I think she wanted a different type of power couple. I don't think she wanted the Kim and Kanye power couple. I think she wanted the Bianca and Kanye power couple. She enjoyed dressing up. Well, however, she enjoyed looking sexy for me. She enjoyed me being proud that she was on my arm. I enjoyed having her company. She was super awesome, super cute, super feminine. It was an amazing time. But because of her past situations, I guess she had doubts. I was nervous because it felt like everybody wanted me to have a baby and a kid in like 6 months. Everybody at that workplace that knew us, though, you know, she kind of, I heard, told people, hey, he's gonna engage, propose to me in 3 to 6 months. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I didn't think about it. I'm not gonna say that, but I fell in love really quickly, okay? Because I felt wanted for the first time in my life. I felt appreciated and I felt special, and I didn't feel hidden, which something happens a lot to me. It's like, there's a lot of women I've been with, most of them that I've dated are older than I, and they just hide me from people. They hide me from their parents. They hide me from their kids. They hid me from their, just their lives in general. And it's just like, okay, I get it for like 6 months. I can't even get it for a year, but you want to be cautious. What, 2, 3, 4 years? Like, no. Can't do it no more. I'm getting too old for this shit. You know, like, as far as I'm concerned, half my life is gone. I don't have time to waste anymore. Not that I did before, but I damn sure don't now. Time is the most important currency that we have. It's more important than money. Because unlike money, I can't get the time back. The time is non-refundable. I really fell for the girl, and I thought she was everything I wanted. But because of people alienating me, and a little bit of her as well, and there was a lot of other things that weren't going right. And then the last thing, I guess, was the fact that I was stressing out because I didn't want to fail. You know, this was a different dynamic. I'm going from dating a tortoise with literally near standstill progression to the hare, who is like 0 to 100 real quick. Like, it's like the girl moved in 3 weeks, knowing her, okay? And I take responsibility for that because I allowed it to happen. But I enjoyed coming home to someone for once. I enjoyed having company and having good conversations, and they were listening to me, and we can have fun and do cool shit together. Like, the femininity was there. The sex was, you know, the techniques were there to an extent. I mean, they weren't, you know, but the sex was amazing because of the passion involved. And I haven't felt that in a while because the last girl I was with, she always thought she was fat. She always thought she loves ugly. I really swear she has freaking body dysmorphia and never got it diagnosed. And it just sucks because she's a beautiful person. She's an inside and out. She just doesn't believe in herself. You can't be with somebody that doesn't eventually believe in themselves. I get what every woman has insecurities. Every woman. And honestly, every person has insecurities. But definitely way more in terms of women, that they are very insecure individuals because they want to look their best. They want to be their best. I get it. But if I'm there telling you this, it's like, what are we doing? Also, I gotta fight with this intimidation factor of me being dressed up, or me, you know, looking a particular way, or, you know, me taking care of myself more than the average guy, and looks and appearance. And I mean, I run a fucking magazine. Of course I'm gonna do that. But you'd be surprised how many women are intimidated by that. And I'm just like, this is stupid. You shouldn't be. You're always gonna look better than me in my eyes because I'm a guy. And you're a super hot chick. Because I only date super hot chicks. Let's make that clear. So, long story short, she dumped me. She didn't get what she wanted. At the speed that she wanted it. I went to therapy for this. I went to therapy for her. I told her that. I just told her I need this little space. I want to just get stuff done because, you know, my landlord at the time was like, hey man, I need you to buy this house, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole thing in that. I'm not going to get into any crazy details about it. But like I said, buying a house self-employed sucks for the first time. Once you get past the first time of anything as a self-employed person, you're good to go. But buying a house, like for some reason, the world looks at a 1099, or at least I shouldn't say the world, the country that I live in, the U.S. of A., apparently looks at a 1099 as if you're like you don't have stable income. But if you have a W-2, you have stable income. You could be making minimum wage, which is the federal minimum wage is $7.25 still. In 2025, the federal minimum wage, to my knowledge, is $7.25 a damn hour. And yeah, they just look at you and they're like, no. Even though you make all this money, we want to jump through hoops. And I told her I needed to hunker down. I need to do this because my plan was, hey, let's buy this house, and I can move on my life. I can do my magazines again. I can do my other stuff. I put everything on hold for a couple years, part of that hiatus, because of that as well. And I just got tired of putting shit on hold. I'm running out of time. Like, I don't know why, and I don't know of anything wrong with me personally. I really don't, health-wise. I'm pretty healthy, but my dad passed away at 70. Now, granted, he passed away from stage 4 lung cancer, and he smoked literally 5 packs of cigarettes a day. 5 packs, okay? And sometimes a whole cigar box. We're talking like at least like an actual cigar box of Dutch Masters in a week. It's impressive that he was alive that long. Now, I don't really do the smoking. I do an occasional cigar from social with someone, which is very rare these days. So I live in a city, in a state where I'm not appreciated, to be honest. I don't have that many friends. I can count on one hand how many friends I have here that I could genuinely depend on. So I feel like my time is running out. I'm 37, and half my life is almost over. Or we're pretty much almost at the halfway point of the average age span. And be it a Capricorn, I guess, I overanalyze things a lot. And I'm hard on myself because I've always been hard on people. Have always been hard on me, I should say, my entire life, growing up and everything. So it's very difficult. I feel like I haven't accomplished anything. I feel like I've done certain things wrong because of, when I was younger, I was thinking about just the dollar, just like the people that are older than me in up north that I can't mess with no more because of that. I was thinking of, money and women that didn't give a shit about me and all these other things. And it just got so frustrating because I'm losing time. So now I'm stressing out because I'm trying to do all these things, make all this time, and it's just so much. It's literally so much at once. And it's so damn brutal. And I'm just trying to fight through it. I really am. I'm getting hurt. I'm getting hurt real freaking bad right now. I don't get a lot of sleep. I haven't gotten, I'm trying to get on the regimen to do stuff, but it's been difficult juggling things. And, until recently. July 1st of last year, I finally showed up on the Grown Man Clip, which is a podcast ran by the Mass Creator, as well as, Scott T and Richie Rich, the Slut Gang CEO. He's not a slut, by the way. He's a lover gang now. But, I digress. And that's how I met the Sophisticated Grizzly as well, Dearest Teddy. These are all, and obviously the one that I left out is the one who invited me, Van Gogh. He's been trying to invite me to the podcast for a year. He's like, John, you gotta show up. John, you gotta show up. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to show up. No, John, you gotta show up. I'm like, all right, man, I'll show up. Because you said something, I'll show up. And I brought my ex, or my at the time girlfriend with me. We did a shoot, posted about it. It's a fun time. I never expected to go back on the show. I never thought I'd be some sort of a semi-permanent fixture. I won't say permanent because I'm not a part of the clique necessarily. Like, I'm not. There's 4 guys. That's their show. I'm not like. To my knowledge, I'm not the 5th man. They do. Jerry loves having me there, which is great. At least I hope he loves having me there. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't tolerate otherwise. And I got to do work with a fragrance reviewer, Dier's Teddy, Sophisticated Grizzly, and because of Van, it helped rejuvenate my creativity because now I get to talk to people that are in the industry in different ways and forms and bounce ideas off of them. And now I get this creative energy again to do things. Hence why Vicissitude magazine came out a couple weeks ago finally. We're at Midnight came out last Friday. And we're just going to keep on pumping stuff out. And I want to do this whole comeback tour of catching up on issues and getting things back the way they should have been. And I'm excited about it. I got a lot of stuff lined up. Just like I got a lot of stuff lined up for this show, as well as just other projects coming up that hopefully you get to see very, very soon. But I'm still hurting. You meet somebody and you get with them for 6 months and then this just over. And I've been having a mental battle with that. Because I just don't think in order for me to do what I gotta do with this, I feel like this is gonna be it for me. What I mean by that is what I have here is it. My cat, hopefully soon, another one, 2. And I'm gonna be alone. It's kind of like The Devil Wears Prada, where she sat in the car, the scene where she's sitting in the car and she's the editor's in tears, and it's because she now is going through like her 3rd or 4th divorce. She's like, it's just a part of the industry, it's part of the business, it's part of life, because her life is to work and be overwhelmed by this stuff. And I would love to think that eventually there's somebody that will do the feminine traits that the last woman did, but but also have the logic of the one before her. Because that was what was missing from the last girl. It was just gimme. And my life flashed before my eyes. I was gonna have a baby or 2 to take care of. I was gonna have a dog and a cat, and with her conditions that I won't stay here, her with herself, I would be stressed the fuck out. I'd make it work, but I'd end up like my father, and that's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to end up like my father, especially after all the shit I've heard that was a lie and all the other crap that I had to deal with. I don't want to be like that. This is why I'm an orphan. I don't associate with none of those people in either side of my family. That's another extension of a story for another day. But for the purposes of this show, I just don't think it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna say won't try to date, and I'm not gonna say that it doesn't exist. I just don't think it's gonna happen because of my line of work. It's either going to be he travels too much for his IT business, which I do have, and he's going to be screwing around, or it's going to be the whole insecurities of models in my magazine and the other women. I know, and I'm happy and thankful to know a lot of attractive women that have boyfriends and girlfriends and maybe whatever else, and they have all those things, and I have, I have what I have. You know what I mean? Like, I just, you know what I mean? That's just what it is. I don't have anything else. So for me, it's just kind of like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? And I just don't understand that. Like, I thought people would appreciate a man that had his shit together, and a man who has, who is successful, and a man who has money, and a man who does stuff. Instead, it's just nonsense, and it just sucks. I think you're gonna cheat on me. I think it's, you're gonna find someone younger, or some other bullshit. I mean, it's so annoying to even talk about. It's hard for me to even bring it up, to be honest, but I feel like it needs to be addressed, because unfortunately, that's the reason why I was gone. I was trying to make something work. I was trying to be happy and be a normal guy. But what I realized is I'm not going to be a normal guy. I'm going to be this extraordinary individual, I guess, that is going to go and do these magazines and meet great people and go out places and have fun. And maybe, just maybe, I'll meet somebody that actually is fully secure with themselves and about themselves as well as about me. And we'll have a fantastic time together. But I'm not searching necessarily for that right now, because I just don't think it exists. I don't think I'm ever going to be with anyone full time. I think I'm going to date somebody, the cycle's going to happen, and it's gone. I don't know. There's a lot of questions I have. Like, should I have given that person a baby? Should have I, let the other one walk all over me like her parents do to each other? Should I, done all these things? And I know the answers. I know the logic. But that's the sucky part. There's this logic involved that I have. It's like, yeah, I missed certain things about the last girl. I missed certain things about the girl before her. But I could never go back to being complacent, and I could never go back to someone that just wants me to take care of them and doesn't bring anything else to the table. And I apologize for being vague, but I just, I know if I talk about it, I'm gonna get so angry. Because I'm angry at myself more than anything else. I'm really angry at myself more than I'm angry at anyone else. Because I felt like I should be doing better. And I'm doing okay. But then I look around my world and I have to remind myself that I've done things that most people can never do. And I've done things that most people would kill to do. And I shouldn't dismiss that just because, So yeah, that's what has happened and where I've been. And thanks to the Grown Man Click, thanks to Van, honestly. I'm still weathering and feeling that out too with the Grown Man Clique, and I told them this. I get excited when I meet people, right? And I love being around people. I love making people laugh because it's like the Robin Williams syndrome. Like, I know how it feels to be alone and sad, and it happens more often than you think. And it sucks when you haven't done anything wrong to anyone, especially people that you are interested in or care for as a friend or a relationship or whatever, and then they shut you out because of their past traumas. Kind of still sucks, even though it's not your fault. And when you've dealt with so many groups of people up north that basically have this "what have you done for me lately" mentality, no matter what it is, friendships, relationships, business, doesn't matter. One false move and all the stuff you did before doesn't matter. And none of it matters. Only that. I don't know how to feel about that. So I'm very cautious now because I've been screwed over so many times. So I'm hoping that the crew that I've met down south is everything that they say they are and more. I really do. And I think they will be, you know, but like I told them after a show one day, I was like, it's gonna take me a while to like really be okay with everything, be willing to do stuff. And that's what I've been trying to fight through. I've been going through this personal journey of trying to figure out, you know, and think about stuff I did in the past to make sure I don't do the same mistakes again, and see if it's my fault or what could I do to avoid it. Not necessarily looking for a particular fault, but it's more of a, I guess you could say, just trying to figure out what I did that could have changed, you know, that I could have changed to make things happen differently or make the outcome different. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. Didn't realize how difficult it is to talk by yourself on the show until now. I do so much better when there's groups of people or there's one-on-ones. And you will see that with the upcoming shows. And we'll touch base more on this here and there. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what the show is going to be about and how we're going to do it and all that. And while we're here, might as well give you a schedule for the following couple weeks. So next week, got my good friend and adult entertainer and producer, Jonathan Jordan. Great interview with him. Week after that, on the 9th, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that the 9th? I'm losing my mind. Don't worry, I'll be a little bit more awake. I'm sorry. 29th is Jonathan Jordan, next Tuesday. The 6th is going to be new friend and great photographer, Dawn Brown. And we do have a bunch of other shows coming up. I do have some events coming up, special events that we'll be doing live shows for this at certain venues and stuff. So I'm excited. We're going to take this show on the road. I'm not always going to be indoors here at my office. I'm going to be out at nightclubs. We're going to be out at like different settings. So it's going to be an interesting time. You know, I'm still working out the kinks of the show. So you'll see that I just want to start, you know, because I feel like that's the biggest problem. I try to be perfect with everything. I started this podcast 5 years ago, and I did like 10 shows, and I never put them out there. And those 10 shows are still going to be out for you guys to see the next few weeks as well. They're going to be blended in with all the other content that we're going to put out. But yeah, I still am going to be figuring out some things and getting some stuff done. And I just wanted to clear the air with this. You know, for anybody that didn't realize that this was the reasoning and the mental struggles that I was dealing with. I apologize that, I ghosted you, or we didn't talk or do any more business. I do appreciate the models that had to wait a while to get their photos, because we didn't release an issue for a few years. Thankfully, nobody was upset that much. Not that they don't have a right to be, they do, but we did have an agreement and they want to release the photos at a time. I knew the issue was going to come out, just I had to deal with these things that were very important. Like, gotta have a house. I gotta have a place to live. If I have a place to live, none of this happens. Gotta have, some type of stability in my life personally before I can be creative and give my all to the world. So, still figuring out some things, still fighting through some stuff. Business is good otherwise. Life is getting to be okay. Here's to, hoping that things are on the up and up and stay on the up and up and don't go all the way crashing down again. So, but this is going to be one of the more, the shorter shows. I don't have a defined time on these shows. Expect them to be an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Sometimes they'll be 2 or 3 hours, depending on how good this host is. I'm just gonna go with the flow when it comes to my guests and see how that goes. I know some guests will have a blast and be on for a while. We have to split up the show into 2 parts or 3, and then some people don't really need to do that. 1 hour is just fine. So yeah, I just wanted to, do the show and let you guys know where the hell I've been. And I definitely will need to do more reps of talking on solo podcast episodes myself, which I will do off camera. But otherwise, like, share, subscribe on YouTube, follow on any podcast platform that you're on, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow us, and we will be on and releasing shows every Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you hit that notification button so you never miss out on anything. And I appreciate everyone that will see this. I didn't get too deep into stuff right now because there was way more I wanted to say, but I don't think it's the right time just yet. Just know that I appreciate the people around right now, and I'm hoping that they're good folks, and I'm hoping that things get better in general for me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do another one of these in a few weeks, just to give an update about things and about magazine stuff as well and all that good stuff. But yeah, until then, I'm not going to keep on rambling. I'm going to sign off. And we're going to pretty much see you next week. Remember, next week will be my interview with Jonathan Jordan. We're going to be talking about how he got into the adult industry. We're going to talk about how he got, how he's able to do a work-life balance. And basically, we'll talk about how he's just like everybody else. He's just like me and you. He's just a regular guy who just has an occupation. We're gonna get into all those things and more on the show. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, and once again, this is Mr. Midnight signing off, and hope you guys have a good night and good rest of your week. Peace.